Black fathers, your black sons need to know who they are. Good rising family, good rising Black Feniks checking in. Right now I am in College Park, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm here for an event at the Black House at our Legacy Center in East Point, Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm like maybe 3.5, 4 or 5 miles away. And I'm out here this morning, man, and I was just thinking about the topic I had posted a while ago. I'm out here now and I'm doing it's the first homecoming of the Black House. It's a lot of networking, a lot of promotion of the Black House, promotion of membership. So for those who are not aware of the Black House, you should check it out. Our Legacy Center, there's different packages that they carry to help you build your business, set up meetings, have meetings. You know, a lot of times you want to look professional and you need a look at a certain area. They actually got a platform where you can actually have your meetings and people meet you in certain rooms to do certain business deals. So, or just have certain meetings or just networking, you know. So being here has been an eye-opener on a few different reasons, but I wanted to state that before I jumped into the topic because all of this ties in. Last night we had a movie mixer. I mean, not a movie mixer, but I'm sorry, a business mixer. And it was different entrepreneurs and business owners up and thriving, people coming together to, you know, network their ideas, show some of their products, vendors and stuff like that was in there. And it was a cool feel. And they did a exercise. They did an exercise where they had us come together, 5 random people. I don't know you, you don't know me, 5 random people. And to express what we're going to do, now what we do, and how can we use what we do to create a business together with us 5 people. And it was ironic that they chose to get the group of people together like they, you know, the way that they did, but everybody had something different to offer. And ironically, what me and, you know, our group, me and the other 4 people, you know, we agreed to say we was going to create a business and network called a Afrocentric trade school. And we called it an Afrocentric trade school because back in the day, when it was, you know, all black schools, they used to teach you when you graduated from high school, you didn't have to go to college because you could already be a carpenter, already into the, you know, into the plumbing field or the electrical field or heating and air field or whatever it was at the time. You know, I'm just giving some different titles of trades, but it was teaching trades. So it made it more equipped for us to be ready for the world, and we didn't have to actually just go through there and just asking for handouts, even though we were still having to deal with a system where you still had to ask for a job, so to speak. You know what I mean? Now at least you're qualified. I want to say that, you know, the only way we're going to get over the hump, fam, is to get better information, get around some better people, create some better opportunities for yourself. Being here just make me think about it more and more because I'm not from here, but I'm willing to go way outside of my box and build something where I'm not from and get established and get my name out there where I can actually network with the people in the area. And I'm not from here, fam, but you can tell that, you know, there's some people here that know me, you know what I mean? Like once they see my face and we talk. And I was told last night that a proposal was brought up about me and that they actually showed a video, showed them some footage of them holding the welding gear and me talking and training welders. And they said, hey, Feniks, King Feniks, we want you to come. And we're going to try to work out probably an 8-week course where you can come through and do this. And then we'll figure out a way to, you know, to reboot it, you know, afterwards. But we really need to implement teaching our youngsters the trades, you know what I mean? Because it's very, very important. So it was ironic that we came up with an Afrocentric trade school, which I think we should do a lot of things that's Afrocentric, Afrocentric daycares, Afrocentric preschool schools, you know what I mean? Because the way I look at it is we have always been at a disadvantage in America as Black people, as Black natives, as African Americans, whatever you want to call yourself. We have always been at a disadvantage. I went to the Birmingham Institute of Civil Rights, and in there was several displays in their family, but it was one display that really, really, really caught my attention, and it was of the school. And I even sent this picture to my daughter, my youngest daughter, that's 15, going on 16. I sent the picture to her, and she said, the difference of the classrooms are sickening. That's what she said. And I think I put a picture of it on there. If you go through some of the photos that I think posted on my timeline of the Civil Rights Museum, but you can literally see how they wasn't giving us, and we still ain't getting that proper information. And as fathers, as Black fathers, our sons are really looking for us to give them some great information to be able to guide them and show them who they are. Like, it's some needed questions, you know. And I can be honest and say to you, fam, that a lot of the questions that was asked that I needed from my father, they didn't come from him. I had to piece mine together, but my father did apologize to the way he, upbringed me. And that was big for him because, we didn't, it wasn't a lot of communication. So, for him to do that, that just, that touched me because I know that, hey, he had to mean that if he said that, you know what I mean? So I feel that me and my cousin, we were sitting there talking, and I really feel that, we have to take advantage of the opportunity. If your father is alive and he's well, a lot of times, we as Black men, we'd be afraid to cry. We'd be afraid to address our father, to talk to him about certain things. We want to sweep everything under the rug, but we're not getting healed. And we're going through life with pent up aggression, and we got things going on, and we don't know where it's coming from, why I'm acting like this, why I'm doing this. And somebody say, you acting like your daddy. And you be like, nah, I don't mess with dude. I ain't acting nothing like dude. And you know what I realized, man? When you hate someone, you become them. So you might say, oh, I ain't like my daddy, but you might be acting just like him. You know what I mean? And that was the reality of something that had to sit in me, in prison. I realized that I was away from my daughter for 10 years, and I wanted to be there for her, and I wasn't. Like my daddy wasn't there for me. Now I wrote, and I kept some things of communication, and once I started making money in prison, I would buy her shoes and get her things, but it wasn't like being there, And that photo that I got on the front of this video is my dad and my son. And it was actually took in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And my dad is actually an excellent grandpa, man. I mean, he be there for him. He look out for him, you know what I mean? He watch over him, they got a lot going. And to see him have that relationship with them now, man, is special. And my son is older now, you know what I mean? But I'm glad that he got the opportunity to meet my dad. And that, me and my dad got a chance to square our ways, things that, our differences. And now I'm in a position where I can actually, be a father, be a dad to my, to my children, to my son. And, he gonna ask questions. He gonna want to know, why do we do this? Where does this come from? What is that? So all of those questions, man, I want to be able to be there to address, to talk to him about, to say, hey, man, it's okay. We was raised this way, why, this is why we do that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of questions, fam, that we want to ask our fathers. It's still some things to this day that I would like to know. I learned things from other people, but sometimes when I get around them, I don't think about certain things to talk about. Sometimes you just be happy to see someone or excited to see them, so you don't really even want to bring up those type of things. You know what I mean? But needs to say though, fam, I was just sitting there thinking about how we're gonna have to have some of those hard discussions, and our sons need to know who they are. Like, one thing I love about the Black House is it's always showing, our legacy center is always showing where we've been. When you step in, you'll start seeing photos of leaders, Black leaders who have done great things way before us. And we have to remember where we're going. We have to remember where we've been to realize where we're going. And that's one thing that museum also showed me, because civil rights was an ugly, mean thing. And I heard some things in there from listening to some audios that was back then of some children talking and some grown folks talking. And it just made you, sometimes it makes you wonder, like, why did a person hate you so much for just wanting to be free? Why did they feel that we are under them? You know what I mean? Like, and why is the system set up like that? You know what I mean? So some things, like I said, you have to be, in my personal opinion, you have to be fully grown, to embrace a truth, to embrace a ugly past, and don't get, not getting bitter towards it, not getting, I don't think it's nothing wrong with getting angry, because it was some messed up stuff that they did, man. It was some messed up stuff that they did, and I I think it's okay to get angry, but I don't think it's okay to get bitter, to get it where it's going to affect us. You know what I mean? We got to learn from it, and in order to keep history from repeating itself, we got to break a chain, man. And that's one thing I learned. You know, um, I love to tell people, when I'm talking to them, some people say, "Man, are you religious?" No, I'm not religious, but I am spiritual, family. You know what I mean? I am spiritual. I do believe in God. Um, I do believe, I have read, the Quran, the Bible, the Torahs. I've studied, different religions from Buddhism. You know what I mean? I have read different um, stories and different chapters that's supposed to have been left out. I've, looked into all different type of, I would say, religions and different gods that, they said did this to get the information. But when it's all said and done, fam, we have to create our own conclusion. We have to um, wake up out the matrix and really see what's going on. You know what I mean? And one thing I realized when I woke up, or while I'm waking up, it's not my position to point a finger and say, "Hey, you need to do this." Hey, what touches my heart is for me, it might not be for you. So that's why I don't knock anyone for what they do, but when they ask me, I let them know, hey, I don't do that. You know what I mean? And you know, and I also don't switch sides. You know what I mean? When grew up, I grew up on the growth and development. You know what I mean? That's what I was blessed into, and I never switched it up. Family, I'm never going to. Like, it's going to stay growth and development with me until I die. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stay working on my mind, body, and soul. I'm gonna stay educating myself. I'm gonna stay um, giving back to the community and helping and learning and really knowing what it means to have um, some economics, some learning my politics, social development, like really knowing how to mingle and really how to get us ahead. Like, all of those principles to me, you know, people I see brothers who join different things. Everybody represents something, from college fraternities to churches, to being a church member and a mason, or just being a mason only, or being a ex something and a mason. But to me, I'm just forever growth and development, family. I look at it like that because you know um, Larry Hoover is actually dying, you know, in prison. He ain't like sick, but he's getting old. We hopefully, when we get out, he get out, and just, if he don't do nothing but be on Anchor Monday, can't go nowhere. It's better than being in there. You know what I mean? But if he don't, he might end up dying in there, family. You know what I mean? And the mission was we was thinking one way, and that's what something that kind of bothered me with America, bothered me when it comes to fathers addressing issues with our son. We all make mistakes, fam. I couldn't get mad at my dad because he was on a 360 mentality when he had me. But when I had my son, he's on a 720 now. Like, he's a pawpaw now. Like, he behaves like a grown person. You know what I mean? And if I would have held that against him, that photo that you seen on there, it wouldn't exist. You know what I mean? But he went through that same thing. So it just taught me that in life, we're going to see one way of things until we learn and know better, especially when we're not educated. Coming from rural areas where we're from, we don't know that type of thing. You know what I mean? All we know is how to survive and how to make ends meet, you know. So I stand on growth and development, family, because I think, you know, it's a lifestyle for me. You know, is, you know, if I had a religion, that'd be my religion, growth and development. You know what I mean? I'll be standing under the Star of David. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? Because I believe in change that way, and I also believe that anyone, you know, I'm willing to embrace anyone because we got different gains in rural areas. We got different cliques and organizations in rural areas, and everybody represents something. Stand under a different think as our skin, as long as we stand under this, we stand together. We all gonna be from different things in different places because, you know, we're born and raised in different environments. You know, everybody got a different favorite color. You know what I mean? So that's okay. But we got this in common though. You see what I'm saying? And the goal in each community, each clique was to uppower the people, you know. But everything, you always take a few people to turn something into a left or negative way. It always be something happen where they say, well, those gangster disciples, it was the reason of that. You know, those BDs was the reason of that. Them Crips over there didn't do that. You know, them Bloods did so and so. You know, them Vice Lord. Them peace stones over there, you know what I'm saying? Like they literally like, them Black Panthers over there, they starting trouble when honestly, you know, it started off pure family. It started off us really trying to help our community, and it's still those who are pushing and promoting the unity. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I am. You know what I mean? I feel like we all standing under a flag together. We got something that we got to unite together. You know what I mean? Because they gonna kill us all, fam. You know, that's one thing I learned. You know, traveling. You know, no matter where I'm at, I'm gonna be judged off the wham, and it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be judged for my skin, for my culture. You know, but it's okay. You know, I have even been in spots where a person would judge me off of my appearance, with my gold teeth and my beard, and then once we hold a conversation, they'll look like, man, I never would have thought, because they judged me off of what they thought. Man, here come one of them, here come one of them. And it's funny because even my cousin, he apologized to me, and just saying as a man, he's like, man, I judge you wrong. And he said, man, I just want to let you know that, I appreciate what you did for me. I helped him get his first vehicle. I helped him buy his first vehicle. And he was like, man, it was $1,000, man. You made, you got a good deal. It was a good deal. And I was like, man, he was like, I didn't really fully understand the whole process. And as I got older, I realized how much you blessed me. And he was like, man, I appreciate that. Because I help him get his first car. I helped him get established. And now he's been having whips and riding and doing everything since then. But I helped put him in his first set of wheels. And I didn't bust his head, but I showed him a principle. And now, he got grown. He was like, man, I get it. And I told him, I said, bro, my goal has never been to hurt mine. But it takes money to make money, and everybody got to eat. But I always want to see mine win. And that's what, he said. He said, some people get out of prison after doing a long stretch, and all they want to do is finesse somebody. Oh, man, he's always trying to beat somebody out of something. He's a convict. I'm not a convict. I'm a convict by term, by being an ex-inmate, but I'm not somebody trying to con you out of anything. I'm not trying to pull your feet or tickle you and say, oh, I'm doing this and I ain't doing this. I'm trying to sell you this. Nah, I'm selling me. I'm selling my vision of what I want to create and motivate others that if they got something, you can do it too. You know what I mean? But I'm not trying to sell anyone no dream. I'm not trying to promote nothing but, righteousness and like I say, growth and development, man, from any turn point. And that's one thing I love about it. And because the term is so broad, it was able to embrace anybody from a rural area, anybody from a rough inner city area where the youth had to, they only had one way. And one thing for sure, in order to be something, you have to stand on it, man. I had one of my stepbrother, I like to call him my stepbrother, man. We grew up together, my big bro. He made a statement to me, man, inboxed me actually on Messenger and he said, man, you are pretty much you are the definition, man, of what growth and development means. Like with what you're doing, with your movement, with educating, with building businesses, with your focus, with you just being like you stand on you, bro. He said, man, pretty much, man, you make me proud. You know what I mean? And it was humbling to see him say it looking from the outside, because me and him haven't been around one another since we was kids. As far as around one another. He came and visited me one for a special visit when I was in prison, and we had a good time, man. It was great. Kicked about 4 hours. We laughed, chopped it up the whole time, caught up what he was doing, what I'm doing, how life treating him, how life treat me, and hopefully we get a chance to do that again, God's willing. He's in California. But I think about how life tends to turn, man, and how things go, and if we don't ever address some of those past issues, with our fathers, from going back to that, if we don't, start talking and start, realizing how someone in our life can really help us, we'll always judge someone based on the system, like, they did this, instead of truly getting to know them, you know what I mean? So for my cousin coming to me and saying, that, you know, he had me wrong. He said, man, that's not you, and sometimes I've had a lot of people that have judged me just, thinking, oh man, he got to be about this if he doing this. I'm not, but I am firm. If I don't mess with something or I feel a certain way, I'm just gonna say, no, I don't want to be a part of that. Or if I started doing it and I see something like, nah, I gotta switch that up because that's not gonna work. I'm not the type of person that's gonna force anything. But once I see it and I notice it, I just realized, family, in this life, we have to realize that self-preservation is key. I can't help no one if I don't help myself. You know what I mean? And I'm here in Atlanta now, helping myself, helping my family. I'm planting seeds that I'm gonna be able to do some things with business that can't be undone. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm meeting contractors, I'm meeting people who want to do things with business, and I'm in a position now where I can actually do these things from start to finish. Where what I know, I'm actually an asset now. I was writing on part of my book this morning talking about products. Why products over talent is because products over talent is the only thing that I actually felt free from. Like I was free from the system. There was nobody judging me for what I looked like. Or nobody judged me for my past convictions. I wasn't judged for my culture. You know what I mean? Um, and I wasn't controlled. I can be able to put something on the shelf and they're gonna get it because it's a good product versus so and so got it, or knowing, how they say that even though they're saying that a prophet is not accepted in his own home, fam. And it's so ironic because I'm in my hometown and I have helped more people outside of my hometown since I've been in my hometown than I have helped people in my hometown. And my hands are out to them. Like I'm literally like saying, you know, come partake of me, you know what I mean? Like Christ said, you know what I mean? If he got something, he said, sure, I come eat of my bread, drink of my wine. I'm gonna share what I got with you because I'm knowing I'm passing through. I'm trying to do something. And the more people I can help is the better. It makes me think about the 10 lepers, if I healed 10 and only one come back, I still did something, family. I still lived out a purpose, so I just feel that, as fathers, if you haven't talked to your child about some things, or you got some things in your heart you need to talk to your child about, go on and address those issues, man. Talk to your child, especially if they're grown or they're teenagers or they're old enough to understand, hold that conversation. It's okay. We think that as men, we was raised, especially from the older days in the Southern blacks, they think, crying is a form of weakness. Nah, it's all right to cry. It's okay to express your emotions and say, damn, this is how I feel right now. That's okay. But when it comes to our kids, our black man, we are dying out here and we are lost. We don't know. And I've seen so many young boys who are completely lost about who they are. They are watered down. They don't know. They're just going with what someone else is telling them about who they are instead of knowing. And we need to know. They need to know who they are, especially right now in this day and age and what we got going on in this climate in this society that you know social media is really shifting, and we have to respect our kids to make the right decision, but you're not going to be with them all the time to watch over everything they do. So we have to be able to plant them good seeds, so that way when that time come, they'll be able to dive into that new life, and it won't be no burden to them. It won't be no bad transition. So we need to let our kids know, our sons know who they are. For the fathers who haven't told your sons you love them, man, tell your son you love him. Tell your daughter you love him. You know what I mean? Especially your son, man, because he's the one that's gonna keep the seed going. Keep the seed going. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, fam. It's something that we have to think about. Salute, salute, good rising, good rising. It's something we have to think about, man. So those hard discussions. If you got something you need to say, you need to apologize. You need to address your father, or father address your sons. Talk to them, man, because they need to know that there is no limitations. They need to know that um, your granddad had that certain look or certain walk. All they got, they nose from so and so. They need to know things like that, so that way they can be um, better man. They have a better understanding of who they are, and this is just a lot of simple things that helps us take pride in what we do. Knowing who we are. The more stories I hear about my grandfather, the more things I hear, about my dad. Like, to this day, I'm always eager to hear things of the past. I'm eager to know what my ancestors did, how they paved the way. And I was talking to a lady the other day, and she asked me, what would be my purpose of really going to Africa. And I say to help my people, most definitely, to establish something there, where I was born from, and to actually go over there and die over there. I would like to literally work and, do my teaching, and wherever I'm living at, I'm cool with that. And being cremated and threw my ashes into the ocean, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I would like. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with that, because I'm knowing that, our energy never dies. So, if I could go back where I originated from, what I'm saying, and be able to help someone that's truly, truly, uh, truly need the help better than I do, then I'm cool with that, fam. I'm cool with making those sacrifices, and that's, like I say, that's my bucket list, family, to take HogOn Welding to Africa. You know what I mean, and to not return. When I go, I don't want to return. So I want to get everything I need to get together here, so that way my finances be good. I know, we know that it's not about the money, but it do take money to live and eat and do all those things. So I want to take care of it where I'm not worrying about the system, or worrying about somebody sending me nothing. No, I want to be good. And then I go over there, and I can be able to do what I want to do from the heart, because I'm knowing that I'm okay. I can rest my head. I'm okay, and I'm helping someone else, instead of me giving you a fish that is actually you're gonna eat it and then be hungry again. I'm gonna teach you how to fish. Instead of giving you just a loaf of bread, I'm gonna teach you how to make your own bread. So, and I think that's important in our society, especially. That's why, at that business mixture last night, having that ideal of the Afrocentric trade school was just ironic to me, because um, we need this type of information, not just welders, but everything. And that's why I did the title when I changed it from HogOn Welding, which is HogOn Welding still exists, but I changed my blog to HogOn Welding to HogOn University, because it covers the full umbrella. Because I believe in tradesmen, and I believe in getting my hog on, hustling over grounded obstacles naturally. Let me repeat that: hustling over grounded obstacles naturally. Hog on. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna always face something, family. We're gonna face something we're gonna have to go through, around, or over in life, and it is what it is. So, today I just want to talk about that. I'm gonna get prepared for a cookout today, picnic with the youngsters. So we're gonna be out there feeding them, talking to them, encouraging them. You know what I mean, to do great things in the Big Brothers Anonymous. So it's just it's just a good thing to be back into the city, to be a part of the program. I am a member of the Big Brother Anonymous and the My Brother's Keeper program, the Obama's Foundation in Atlanta. So I'm part of that here at the Our Legacy Center at the Black House. So I was glad that I could be able to come in and use what I know. And you'd be surprised, fam, when you just learn to embrace your lane. You know, my dad was good with his hands. So regardless of his education not being good, he was still a creator. You know what I mean? And some things we get passed down, we just get it and take it to another level. You know, King David got a lot of the materials together for King Solomon to actually build the temple. And, you know, I think that's how it goes in life. You know, we prepare the way for the next. And they grab it and they take it, and they grab it and they take it. And I think that's how we're going to do, you know, in our communities when it comes to our Black fathers, when it comes to us mentoring and motivating someone. Like I say, when I get back to Arkansas, I got a young gentleman who is eager and ready to start welding. So I got to jump on that and get him going, because he's ready. He's hungry. You know what I mean? And it pushes me, because when I see somebody that's hungry, somebody that want it, bro, like, I love to give it to them. You know, because I know I was the same one, and I was just looking for an opportunity. And I was even one to say, man, if you bless me, I'm going to come back, man, I promise. And I came back every time. And, you know, everybody that blessed me, I always went back and paid homage. You know what I mean? Always like, hey, I don't forget about nobody. You know what I mean? And, but everybody ain't like that, though. So, you know, it's cool. You're not going to meet people like that. You got to think, when Jesus healed the 10 lepers, only one came back. And he said, didn't I heal 10? Where did 9 go? You know what I'm saying? That's what it is in life, you know, and we just got to embrace those numbers, fam. But we're not doing it for those numbers. Hey, you know what? It's crazy that you say that. That's a term that I was taught too, you know, and later I just realized that I had to switch that term up, because it really wasn't quite accurate to say I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. I realized that we have to master a trade doesn't mean that we have to get a degree, but we have to master a trade, and then we can jack everything else, meaning we add other trades to what we did master. So you might be a mechanic, but you can weld and do some piping and some electrician and some drywall too. You know what I'm saying? You can do some carpentry too. You know what I mean? So I think that we should master something, man, and that's how we really gonna be a greater asset once we master what we really like, and then we can jack everything else. You know what I mean? But we need to master one thing. So, you know, I think that we really need to focus on that. You know, especially, you know, I say that now because words mean everything, and I didn't really get that concept. And I'm like, man, I'm a jack of all trades. I ain't mastered nothing. You know, we need to master something. So, you know, I like to say, you know, when it comes to welding, I have mastered different aspects of it. Working as an employee, as an independent worker, and also as a business. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, we got to keep our options open, fam. You know, we got to be realistic. You know what I mean? But, you know, I had to look at it. You know, I had to think to myself, like, man, you know, I got to be able to master something, family. You know what I mean? Oh, okay, okay. You know, so, you know, we have to grab that one thing that we extremely good at, and then we just, you know, build off everything else. And like I say, um, as far as, you know, I had one of an older friend of mine that told me about blogging, and like I said, I didn't really want to do that. You know, I'm like, man, I don't want to talk in front of no camera. I don't want to give, you know, information like that. And then I just realized that, hey, sometimes that's how you're gonna reach certain people, to be transparent and just talk to them and just, you know, give them the game. Yeah, yeah. But you know what? It's good to have a lot of skills. We got to have a lot of skills. That's the same thing I say. I like to add different things to my portfolio. You know what I mean? And one thing that I'm trying to remove, you know, I had told a lady, and I was like, man, by 45, I'm physically don't want to be doing the welding as far as out in the field doing it. By 45, like, nah, I don't want to physically do it. And actually, you know, my goal was to not physically do it by 40. But you see, I had to switch it up. I got some money. You know, we learn things as you go. So I learned, I said, okay, I enjoy doing this, but I don't want to physically, like, I don't even want to, like, my goal is to just, if I'm doing it, I'm making products, teaching classes, you know, and doing the school thing and doing business ventures. But as far as physically out there in the field, now I'm not going to be doing it, but I'm going to have someone out there representing the company. but I won't be doing it. You know what I mean? I want to focus on more on the education, the products, and actually the promotional side. Hey, you know what I mean? Like I say, there's nothing wrong with it. I know many. I seen that welder, the oldest welder I actually seen that was actually working and still in the field, but he was independent though, had his own little truck. He was like 75, 76. And the old man was getting it, bro. He had a nice little rig. He'd come out there. He was doing bumper docks and stuff. So he did a lot of flux core and TIG, and stick welding. So I just think we should just find our lane. This morning, like I say, I just want to come live and just say we need to have these discussion with our fathers. We really need to talk to them about whatever it is, if it's something on your heart, vice versa. If it's something that you father got on your heart, you need to talk to your children about. Get it off your chest, while they still here. I asked my daughter, what have I done since I've been alive that has affected her in a good or a bad way that she'll never forget, that she can learn from. And it opened up a door of opportunity, and we had a great conversation, family. But if I would have never humbled myself and just asked her and say, hey, well, however it go, I understand, just let me know. And we had a great conversation. So, I would have never knew those things if I wouldn't have asked her. So I just say we need to hold those great conversations. Our sons need to know who they are. Our daughters need to know their lineages. We kings, we queens. We need to know, we need to know who we are. And the cool thing about going to the Black House, our Legacy Center too, everyone greets you as a king or a queen. You know what I mean? A lot of times we don't know who we are. And you have to be, and it's got to be built up in your psyche to say, man, this is who I am. This is who I am. This is who I am. You know what I mean? Like it get to hitting you like, I get it. Oh yeah, you get to walking, you get to walking with a pep in your step. You know what I mean? Once you wake up and start seeing, man, what, life can be better. You know what I mean? Things can be better than this. You know what I mean? It just takes you to a whole nother level. So, like I say, I'm happy. I'm up this morning. I feel blessed. I'm excited for the opportunity to hang out with the kids today and to complete, what I came out here for, the sacrifices I made to get here, and Lord's willing, get back, getting my kids and getting things arranged so that way I can spend some time with them. So I'm trying to kill several birds with one stone this summer. So I'm gonna stay connected. Like I say, my goal is to finish working on this book. I also got some business ventures in South Carolina and Greensville, South Carolina. So I planned on going out there doing a few business ventures. It's things that everything gonna probably work out. Probably take a few months to get things ready before we kick it off. So planned on working with that, and also, like I say, in the city of Atlanta and around here with the container convergence. I got a few projects going, and some more land that I got in my home state of Arkansas. So I got a lot of things going on, fam. I'm just trying to stay focused and stay blessed. Yes, I appreciate that. Like I say, man, I appreciate y'all for checking in. Please hit that button, like, share, let people know aware, man, of what we're doing around here on HogOn University. Y'all be blessed, continues to prosper. I'm out. Black Feniks.